Iman Shumpert the steal and the finish.
Now, remember we told you early on, it's interesting to watch this group play. That is the 23rd point scored by bench people. And they excite you because they play the passing lanes, and in Shumpert and Fields, they have two of the best guys in the league in stealing the ball.
And there is another one. Melo on the run out. Couldn't bring it in on the long pass from Jeremy Lin, and it's a New York turnover.
Well, sometimes you tell players it's difficult to make and judge the speed of a guy when you're throwing the ball on the same plane as he is. What you'd rather have is an angle, like the guy running down the floor create the angle, or the passer do the same.
That was the first turnover, as you see, by Lin. Rondo goes back in the lane on a teardrop, got his own rebound. And two down on this end. We're 4-on-4 with Lin. Rondo and Stoudemire now join the play. And Amari can't convert, but Tyson Chandler does. And the Knicks shooting at a high percentage here, nearly 60%.
Well, you can count on the Celtics rotating to any dribbler that is beating his man into the painted area. And what you must do, get on the offensive glass.
And Boston has gone cold on this end. Hit ahead for Anthony. Could not leap up to get it. Turnover number 2 by Lin. Trying to hit Melo running out. Garnett down the lane. Foul on Lin, I believe. If it is, it'll be his third. Here's what Doc Rivers said about what his team's not doing.
We got to execute down here, and we got to get stops. We're not getting back. We started out the game getting stops. That's how we got the lead. And then we fell in love with offense. We're going to score, but we got to get stops to win, all right?
Now, Doc is right on the money here. Look, the Celtics are 30th in the league in offensive rebounding. And you can see right here, they're not getting any second shots. They're missing all these open perimeter 18, the mid-range game shots. So if you're not going to get on the offensive board, you've got to get back in transition defense. Otherwise, where are you? Where are you on this floor?
Well, this is not a team that is known for cleaning up inside, rebounds, offensive boards, second chance points, and points in the paint. They're last or second to last in the NBA. That last foul, before we heard from Doc, was not on Lin, on Chandler. 2 on Tyson. Lin also has 2. And here are a couple of extra tries on this possession for Boston. Garnett, they have blanketed Kevin every time he has caught it tonight, bringing an extra defender.
I'll give him a lot of credit. The Knicks have rotated up on him, and they're pressuring him. And that time, they actually got him to take a bad percentage shot.
And the result is 2 of 9 from the field. After 2 misses, Lin and Anthony finally connect.
Well, he just needs to get a couple of baskets, a couple of nice feeds in order to get his confidence back here right now. You know the pressure on him by the people from this area, the Harvard influence, and he wants to excel. And his passing today has just been like a foot too long in the transition game.
Brandon Bass from the wing connects on his 4th field goal. That's 8 for Brandon Bass, the 2-year man. He was 2 years at LSU, 2 years with the Hornets, 2 years with Dallas, 2 years with Orlando, and now his first year here with the Celtics. Anthony inside off the nice cut off the wing from Langsley Field.
Now remember, we tell you the Celtics are an excellent defensive team in half court. Well, the Knicks are just chewing them up. In the first quarter, they got to the line 8 times. Now they're just beating them off the dribble, or they're running without the ball.
Rondo getting good penetration from the top on Lin, and that's back-to-back Brandon Bass field goals.
Well, it has to come down to defensive end. If the Celtics are going to win this game, you got to show that you can force the Knicks into late shot clock attempts.
Stoudemire from the outside.
Well, they're looking good now. This first half, their ball movement, their movement without the ball, excellent.
And the stat you'll love, they have 12 assists on their 20 field goals here in the half. Stoudemire with a check on Rondo, and the foul's called, or rather Carmelo.
Just keep an eye on that baseline. See, they're running without the ball. Carmelo, that's the 3rd time now in this first half that he's moved without the ball, and the passer is looking for him. Here it is again, a backdoor move. Catch Pierce trying to play the passing lane. The Celtics are trying to deny Carmelo. Carmelo is smart enough not to get in a chicken fight right there. with Paul Pierce at the defensive end, trying to force his way to the ball. Just step and then change direction.
Great quarter for the Knicks, has given them a 12-point lead. Rondo at the line. A hot piece of Dallas coming to ABC. Series premiere GCB. This is tonight at 10 Eastern Pacific, 9 Central. We have the creators of Sex and the City, the writer from Steel Magnolias, new drama. Show you what happens when you mess with Texas. So GCB debuts tonight, 10 Eastern and Pacific, 9 Central, on your ABC station.
Now, if there's a weakness in Rondo's game, it's the foul line. He only shoots it at 61%, and he gets there quite a bit.
62% for his career.
Nice.
Lynn off the side, pick and roll with Chandler, no. Tyson tried for a second shot at it. Rondo going right at Lynn.
Oh,
he got fouled by
right.
Fields. Yeah. Lynn going right back at him. Slides a bit out of control. And Rondo ahead. Oh, man. And Mike D'Antoni will take a timeout. Got to settle his group down. Boy, the Celtics were close to back-to-back field goals there. And a little momentum. And Rondo just lost it. Under 3 with a timeout. And the Knicks ahead by 9.
What do I want? I want horsepower. Cleaner horsepower. I want power that dominates the road. And fuel efficiency that respects the earth. Give me 43 miles per gallon and the rush of 200 horsepower. What I want is the best of both worlds.
Introducing the reinvented 2012 Camry Hybrid from Toyota.
You know the place where heroes and giants live, where men can fly, where everything is possible. BBVA, official bank of the NBA, presents the world's best basketball. Let the show go on.
Immortals, the first must-own Blu-ray of the year, Tuesday.
Chow down with the Italian collection at Subway.
Delicioso.
Try the Mongelis's Chicken Pizziola Melt, a fresh take on Italian with tender, juicy chicken, zesterific pepperoni, and plenty of our signature recipe marinara sauce.
Just so far, a lot of conversation. Is he going to be traded? Trade deadline less than 2 weeks away. Here's what Doc Rivers said about how his relationship with his 6-year point guard is going now.
Rondo is the smartest player I've ever coached. And what comes with that is good, and then there's some bad in that as well. But he's tough, he's stubborn at times. We've had our disagreements like I've had with Kevin, Paul, Ray. I don't know if it's a true relationship if you don't have some disagreements. But there's no grudges ever held. We all get over it, and we all understand that we're trying to, win.
And that is one of the main things Rondo's done well the last few games. Doc said he used to use Johnny Bench as the reference for players, but since they don't know the era right now, he uses the former Red Sox who just retired, catcher Jason Varitek, in terms of calling a game. In addition to playing well, Rondo has called a great game the last few as Anthony gets inside off the inbounds and scores for the Knicks.
Well, that's what we said at the top. Doc's confidence in him, his leadership, calling the game. Doc doesn't have to then put his input in, allow him to get confidence out on the floor. The guys listen to him. The one thing about this guy, you never question his effort.
Nice pass to Wilcox, who missed it. Rondo got it back and scores. We have a lot of guys complaining for fouls that are not being called here in this first half.
Now, Rondo, that's a big part of his game. Not only is he excellent point guard, but he gives you 5 rebounds a game.
Stoudemire off on the jumper. There's a report earlier this week that Rondo was involved in trade conversations. Danny Ainge and Doc Rivers both saying, and Doc to us this morning as well, as Bass misses, said not actively shopping Rondo. They're not calling. It doesn't keep the phone from ringing. So if people call, they have to listen. Bass and Stoudemire fight. We'll have a jump ball between those two. And Heather, you talked to Rondo about it earlier today.
Well, you heard Doc talk about Rondo. Well, I actually asked Rondo if it's a blessing or a burden being a point guard coached by a former point guard, which Doc Rivers was. He said it's a combination of both. It's a blessing because Doc's always helping him get better and learn and see the game through the eyes of a point guard, but that it can be a burden because Doc always knows exactly what Rondo has done wrong and won't be shy about telling him about it. These guys have very open lines of communication, as you heard from Doc. Well, it goes both ways.
Yeah, Rondo at times, if there's been criticism in addition to his shooting, it's been that he's difficult to work with sometimes. Lynn protects. Going to go the other way. It's going to be an offensive foul on Lynn, and that will be his third personal foul.
What's happening right now, we're at both ends of the floor here. We've seen ragged play. Also, Jeremy Lin now in foul trouble. That is his fourth turnover of the game. So the Knicks, as well as they're playing, have 7 turnovers between he and Davis.
You get the sense Lin is trying a little too hard today?
Yes, he is. And that's why I brought it out earlier.
Yes.
And I feel that. And that's to be expected. But the one thing about Jeremy Lin, he normally has much better production in the second half of every game that he has started.
Garnett from the top got some space, and it's 54-47.
So he's the guy that had to get going. He was 2 for 9 before that shot. He and Rondo, before both of them just made field goals, we're struggling big time. But now, I will ignite the defense. 2-on-1, you got to get a layup.
But Baron Davis, who made the bad pass, was in the lane. Now it's 4-on-2, Chandler. The top field goal percentage man in the NBA. Look out for a steal. Missed by Davis, taken by Bass. And Anthony draws the foul, and Carmelo's picked up his second here.
Now in the 2-on-1 for Boston, Rondo left his feet too early. An excellent defensive play. See, the fake and then step back. The old story, never leave your feet unless you're going to shoot the basketball. And then at the other end of the floor, a nice, strong move. Bass, once again, this guy can really develop himself into major producer here with the Celtics as long as they play Garnett at the center position.
A few seconds away from the BlackBerry halftime report, first half stats and analysis and a preview of the Heat and Lakers. And you can nominate the bold play of the first half by using hashtag bold play. So for your tweeters, hashtag bold play, and you cannot nominate the 3 turnovers in 7 seconds that we had earlier in this quarter. Michael Wilbon, John Barry, Chris Broussard, and the Hall of Famer Irvin Magic Johnson standing by in our Los Angeles studio. But Baron Davis, it's all or nothing here. Couple of turnovers.
And once again, a baseline running without the ball. Ray Allen played that beautifully.
Ray, an air ball on a 3. How rare is that?
Give Fields a lot of credit, Mike. He never gave up on that. He was behind Ray, but then he went to intimidate him by getting the hand up on the shot.
Bass will sit. He leads the Celtics with 12 points. Allen only 1 of 3 shooting. Again, suffering from a bit of a cold the other day and did not play. The Anthony lob is taken away, but knocked out of bounds. Rondo says it was Nick's last touch with 25.4 to go.
Now in this first half, we've seen a lot of bad passes, and it's all come on the lobs. And the distance of the lob passes, have really been far. And consequently, the defensive guys, as long as they don't give up on it, they have a chance to get a hand on it for a deflection.
The Knicks have a college basketball-like 13 turnovers in the first half. They average 17 a game. Anthony ISO at Pierce. No, got it back for travel. They rule that Pierce never hit it, so thus when Anthony caught, get the travel. Doc will take his use or lose it timeout with 5.4 to go in the half, and the Knicks up 7.
Is it really necessary to brew Coors Light down as low as 30?